got
If Amari Cooper is a top 7 wide receiver in the league, what do you think?
Go ahead.
No.
No.
I don't think he's top 15.
These niggas tackle, I'm bringing the pack. I'm a roller with stars and I'm smoking on platinum. Got my eye on the prize so I don't do distractions. I'm coming back.
Yo, what it do? It's your boys, Juice and Lou. We back here with another episode for you guys. You already know who we got on. We got my mans. Good old Bradley, man. We here. We got something good for y'all. Remember them NFL hot takes we was talking about?
We got 4 of them.
We got something for y'all. You already know, man. So, without further ado, we just gonna hop right into it. So, the first hot take we got.
If Amari Cooper is a top 7 wide receiver in the league, what do you think?
Go ahead.
No. I don't think he's top 15. I don't think he's top 15.
Is this going off career, or I guess for next season would he be the top 7?
Next season.
Previous
season.
Season.
At least I would assume next season.
Okay, going into next season.
Going into 2021.
I would think so.
Okay.
So yeah, no.
So you say no?
Not yeah. He's not even 15.
So
I think he like
he's not 15.
16. No. He's like 16 probably. So we sat here, we made a list. I think we agree on most of them.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna I guess like stretch it from 7 to 15.
Yeah.
Stretch it from 7 to 15 players, and that could considerably make Amari Cooper a fringe top 15 player.
Yeah.
Borderline top 15 player, granted the season that he had
without Dak.
Yeah.
At wide receiver.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
So in no particular order, we have AJ Brown.
Okay.
DK, who is my dark horse best receiver of this year, DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson. Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Chris Godwin.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mike Evans.
Okay.
And kind of like a split between Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool, another dark horse.
Juju though.
And you know how much I hate it.
Juju
Smith-Schuster, Mr.
I read
TikTok.
Amari Cooper. That's just me.
All right, continuing the list.
Okay.
DeAndre Hopkins, of course.
We're at 10.
Like I said, this is in no particular order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen.
Bowl
game stand up.
You didn't
Stephon
name
Diggs.
Yeah, I'm about to say you didn't name.
Yeah, we just about to
go ahead.
It's in no particular order.
I know.
Just a list.
Yeah.
Coming back from injury, potentially Odell Beckham Jr. Jarvis Landry. Michael Thomas and Allen Robinson.
That's 16 right there.
Okay. He's 15 for sure.
15.
I'm taking Juju out your list and
you could take Odell.
Yeah.
Odell's not a top 15 receiver.
Odell's turning 30 off. First of all, he broke his ankle one year. Just tore his ACL, and I think he tore his Achilles too. One season. That's 3 really, really, really detrimental injuries. I understand he's probably one of the most talented. Well, when he was with the Giants, people were saying he was probably the most talented athlete possibly. But obviously not no more with these injuries. But wideouts coming in, and it's going into the season in a Cleveland offense that's run heavy. They found their identity. They're clearly run heavy. Offensive line, running backs, clearly run heavy team. Jarvis played spectacular. That's why I can't really take Jarvis out because he played great last year. Okay. Odell's still a question mark because I don't want Baker to go back to how it was when Odell was on the field. Now,
so I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
So kind of linking back to, the topic of discussion, Amari Cooper himself. So you have two other really good receivers on the team with the emergence of CeeDee Lamb
and Michael Gallup. He's still the best on that team.
And hopefully we got Zeke returning to form and Dak coming back from injury. So he's gonna have to split targets. He's gonna have to split targets with a second-year CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup. Do you still see him even being the best receiver on the team?
Yeah. Number one, I got for next year. I think he'll be 1. I think CeeDee will be 2, though. I think Gallup will be 3 for next year.
Okay.
I just realized, did we put Julio on the list?
Julio Jones, yeah.
Wait, yeah. When y'all first started about it.
Let me double check. No, we don't.
No, we don't have Julio. So we forgot Julio.
He's still 15. Amari.
So you put him
I already
over.
said he's over Juju for me and Odell. And
if you take Juju out, I could put.
I like Claypool's potential.
Juju,
though.
You can replace Juju with Adam Thielen
from last year.
Going into next year.
No, not going into this year. Nah.
Wow.
First of all, that's also another run-heavy team with Dalvin, how great he was last year, and they already got Justin Jefferson, their main receiver off the play action, because that's what Kirk Cousins likes doing a lot, a play action because of Dalvin.
And even with a full season, Adam Thielen was not able to crack 1,000 yards. Even though he did have 14 touchdowns. Great,
he's a
target.
Red zone. He's a red zone target for them. But he's not the main. He's not the main weapon no more because they, like I said, it's mainly Dalvin. That's really his offense, and then Kirk's gonna do a lot of play action because you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield, who wouldn't be scared of him. So a lot of teams gonna fall for that, and Justin Jefferson's so fast. I mean, he's gonna get behind the defense anyways. So
real quick,
I think he's the number one over there. But like I said, I got Amari going into next year being 15, but not 7. I disagree with the original take. Not 7.
Definitely not top 7 in the league. Unless proven otherwise. We'll have to see.
We're going to have to see. But the next take we got
is if the Colts can win the Super Bowl.
Not at all. Not at all. No.
No
Especially
chance.
They're in the AFC. Your threats, obviously Kansas City, obviously Buffalo, Browns, Baltimore. I'll take the Chargers over the Colts.
And you could also make an argument that Indianapolis might not even be the best team in
their division. In their division.
Because of Tennessee, obviously, the recent acquisition of
Julio,
Quintorris Lopez-Jones.
Yeah. Even though their defense is really, really sus. Their defense is really sus. But it's just the offense is going to be obviously a top 5 if healthy. So, I don't know. The Colts, that's a no for me.
But
that's a no for me.
You can still make a case. You have a fantastic defense.
Yeah, that defense is top 5.
One of the best defenses in the league, and on top of that, a stellar. Led by 3 times, since he's been in the league, all-pro guard, out of Notre Dame, Quentin Nelson.
That's tough. That is tough, yeah.
That offensive line is almost impenetrable. And if you actually have a mobile guy, a guy who doesn't have, 40 speed on Madden like Phillip Rivers, I know that all too well, being a Chargers fan. Now you have
Carson Wentz.
And the last time Carson Wentz played like an MVP was also the last time Frank Reich was a part of the Eagles. He was the offense coordinator, QB coach, I want to say. Pardon me if I'm wrong, of course. So that familiarity, that chemistry can emerge easily in Indianapolis.
That's tough.
Right.
It's very, very, very convincing for me. I'd say it's a perfect marriage as it was in Philly. but you have it completely amplified because you have an amazing defense and offensive line, which is something that Carson Wentz didn't really have in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
You can make an argument against that. You have Jason Peters, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
But
I will say the receivers on the Colts are significantly better than the ones on the Eagles. So
yeah, without a doubt, drafting Jalen Reagor and JJ Arcega-Whiteside instead of Justin Jefferson, and I mean we'll have to see because Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
See how he goes. Hopefully he eats a couple cheeseburgers.
Facts. That's facts.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Okay. For me, now here's the thing with the NFL: the best team doesn't always win the Super Bowl. So you named, Chiefs, obviously. Baltimore could be good. Browns, Bills. Those are like the bona fide teams that are, and Tennessee, I guess their offense is over. Tennessee, those are 5 bona fide teams, in my opinion, who on paper are bona fide better right now than the Colts. Now, you got your dark horses. You got Pittsburgh coming up.
Stop it.
Miami.
Stop it.
Chargers. Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing record. Come on.
This year he will.
Okay. All right. I've seen worse rosters from Pittsburgh than the one they're coming out with. And plus their defense, Devin Bush and who else got hurt? I think Tuitt got hurt as well. They're both going to be back. So their defense is going to be back healthy again.
Man, I feel bad for my boy Najee, bro. They really going to run him to the ground. Like, they going to do him like Todd Gurley. I promise they are. Or they just going to hurt him because their offensive line is non-existent.
Man, but then again, an offensive line, an offensive line is about great chemistry too. Like, no one thought the Browns going to the last season would have the best offensive line, but once you start building chemistry, it was clear as day they were going to, by like at least week 10, we knew the Cleveland Browns offensive line was great. So, with that being said, I don't think the Colts are going to the Super Bowl. That's just me though. But I wouldn't be surprised. They just drafted Jonathan Taylor, had a great rookie year. I hope he's gonna improve as well. You brought up Carson Wentz on the team. This is probably his last chance to prove he's got it still.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't have a bona fide number one. T.Y. Hilton, and he declined greatly last year.
He's not the same.
He's 32. Yeah. So we'll see how his weapons. But I do like what was his name?
Michael Pittman.
I like Michael Pittman.
No, it was the boy from Wise.
Zach Pascal.
I
like him. I have Old Dominion and Dr. Henry A. Wise Jr.
Yeah, I like him. Now, defense, they also didn't sign Trey Burton back at tight end as of right now, of course. But they also don't have Malik Hooker on the team as of right now. But I think Malik Hooker will come back. So their defense will be solid. They have Buckner up front, of course, and Darius Leonard off the edge. So I think they'll have a solid team. But like I said, I mean, if they go to the Super Bowl, it'll be whatever. They would clearly have to be on some hot streak to get.
Looks like we have lost David.
They're not going to win next year.
Okay.
Could you repeat what you just said real quick?
They're not going to win next year.
You said they won't win next year?
Carson Wentz would have to pull off some Joe Flacco. No, they're not. No.
That's fact. No. That 2013 postseason.
Next take, though.
All right, cool. So, after a little bit of connection and technical difficulties, excuse me, you have Larry Fitzgerald They're saying Larry Fitzgerald, top 5 all time, and if he had chips, he'd be the GOAT. First of all, Larry Fitzgerald as a top 5 receiver all time is not a hot take to me.
He's already top 5.
It's extremely convincing that Larry Fitzgerald is top 5, maybe even top 3, top 2 receivers all time. Mm. And if he had a chip, you could make an argument for it.
Yeah.
But I'd say the greatness of Jerry Rice is a little bit too much. Mm. He would have to play, 4 or 5 more seasons to even
be in
scratch the numbers as far as what Jerry Rice has produced.
Yeah. That's tough.
But as for top 5 all time, if I'm making a top 5 wide receivers of all time, first names that come to mind is, of course, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Michael Irvin, you could throw him in there, and Calvin
Johnson,
Megatron.
Yeah,
those I'd say that's a solid enough top 5. Of course, some recency bias because we don't have 2 old names in there.
Yeah.
But if I were to formulate a top 5 without Larry, that's what it would be. Not in that order, but with still Jerry at number 1 because I have Michael Irvin at number 2 on the list, and I wouldn't put him above Randy Moss or Terrell Owens.
Yeah, it's like Larry. He's like one of the best receivers at catching. Like if it's able to hit his hands, he's gonna catch it. That's facts.
And we know we all know that insane stat where Larry Fitzgerald has more career tackles than drop passes, and he's been in the league since 2004.
That's tough. That's tough. So if you have that insane stat, you got the catches, you got the yards. Add 1 or 2 rings. 1 ring, it's arguable. 2 rings, the best receiver.
Had his best opportunities, I want to say, in 2008, of course, where he lost to Pittsburgh.
It's really unfortunate.
And I want to say 2014, 2015, where they made the NFC Championship and got smacked by the Panthers. That was probably his.
Those 2 were his only chances. Those were his only chances. And mind you, he had a big game against the Steelers. Like, that was a great game, too. So it was just like, those 2 chances are down the drain. But if he had those 2, if he wins those 2 games, there's no dispute or no argument.
And with that 2008 postseason, I think he has the record for most yards in the postseason. He was going crazy. I think he had over 100 yards every single game from. I think they were in the wild card.
Yeah.
They were in the wild card, all the way to, of course, where they lost to Pittsburgh.
Off that toast.
In the Super Bowl. He averaged 130 yards that postseason.
130 yards. That's insane. To keep that consistency from a 16-game season into the postseason, that's amazing.
That is crazy.
I definitely put him in my top 5, top 3 even.
So it's basically, if he had rings, would he be top 5?
Pretty much.
So it's kind of 2 separate takes in one. You have him being a top 5 receiver currently with the career that he had.
No.
Yes, and you have if he would be the GOAT if he had 1 or 2 championships under his belt.
Nah.
Still don't?
So no to both of you. You don't think Larry's top 5 all time?
Nah, I like your list though. I mean, only person I'd move. Calvin didn't play a long time though.
But you can't really. That's not entirely his fault. The Lions organization. You obviously saw what they did with Barry Sanders.
Awful.
I mean, he's also the one putting the pencil on the paper on his contract though. But you said who's your 3 and 4?
3 and 4. So it was in no particular order. I just had my top 5 receivers. Of course, you have Jerry Rice, best receiver. And then in whatever order you would like to put, you have Michael Irvin, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, I think I'm moving Calvin for AB.
AB?
That's just me though. Yeah.
Antonio Brown.
Nah,
I'll have to
me though.
disagree with you on that.
I think he had. Go ahead.
I've never seen AB get triple covered the way he did. And you had I forgot what team they were going up against. You had him. It was a goal line stand.
Yeah.
And you literally had two
He
guys
was lined up with two people in front of him.
Two defensive backs right on Calvin's grill. I have never seen literally two corners lined right up on the line of scrimmage with Calvin Johnson. I've never seen that level of dominance from a receiver in this era, aside from maybe Julio Jones back in 2016.
The amount of catches that he's caught,
I mean,
over 2+ people, is crazy.
That's like physical gifted though. That's like gifted. You can't do nothing about that. AB has arguably the best footwork I've seen. Probably, actually, to me, he does have the best footwork I've seen throughout the whole 2010s. That's easy for me. He was a beast with his footwork. That's skill right there. He took his time to develop that. But what Calvin got, he got that natural. It don't matter. You like 5'9", 5'10". I'm 6'6", 6'5". I'm gonna just jump and catch it. You can't do nothing about it. AB's, I just outweigh AB's hard work and talent to get his footwork to that extreme level that he had in Pittsburgh. And he got the rings. I mean, the pity ring from Tampa Bay, but I think he won 2 or 1 with Pittsburgh.
He only has one ring. It was his rookie year where Pittsburgh went to the Super Bowl, but they lost.
So
that was
got.
I think that was the Packers.
Yeah, they lost to Green Bay. That was when Mike Wallace was the number 1 option.
Yeah.
He's always had a winning record as well. I mean, it's not totally his fault that the Cardinals are trash for Larry Fitz and Calvin, but I mean, Fitzgerald. I understand why. I get it for Fitzgerald if he had the rings, obviously. Because, I mean, dude almost got 18,000 yards. He could have 18,000 yards by the end of this year, by his career. That is crazy. But if AB just didn't go, to that mental state, I think him on Pittsburgh, and if Bell didn't want money, that team would still be good to this day.
Okay. That defense.
Yeah, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. Calvin's level of dominance is too much, and if you take him away from a horrible organization like Detroit, you could arguably still see him in the league today.
Swap AB and Calvin Johnson. Pittsburgh has a couple rings. That's facts. But I agree though with AB's footwork though. I like that one. I like that. Okay, and the last take we got for y'all today
is if Julio Quintores Lopez Jones is still the best wide receiver in the National Football League.
No.
He's not even.
Nah.
Like we said, D-Hop. All right, healthy Julio. We know how dominant he can be. But over healthy Julio, I'm still taking D-Hop. I'm taking Devontae.
To me, it's Devontae 1 right now. That's just me, though.
I'll have to agree.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. This is not no order. I'm just saying.
I know, I'm just saying that.
Yeah. Devontae is number 1, though. I like Devontae Adams at 1. But Devontae, D-Hop, maybe Tyreek. Maybe. But I'm taking those 2 for sure over Julio.
Yeah. 3 for 3 on this one. I personally don't think Julio Quintores Lopez Jones is the best receiver in the best receiver in the league anymore. I say that because, the emergence of A.J. Brown and his, decline. Julio's getting up there in age. This will be his 11th year in the league.
With a lot of injuries.
He'll definitely not be able to replicate what he did from 2011 to 2018.
And I honestly don't think Ryan Tannehill better than Matt Ryan. I honestly don't think that.
You don't think so?
I don't think
that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But on top of the emergence of A.J. Brown, and on top of that, it's kind of tracing back to what you said earlier about run-heavy teams.
That too.
They're going to be, putting that ball in Derrick Henry's hands a lot more.
Yeah.
Probably just as much, maybe not as much as last season because of the addition of Julio Jones. I could still see him getting about 300 carries this season.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And then you have
think he cracked 2,000 again.
Can he crack? I hope he does. I'll be sure to pick him up in fantasy football.
I don't think so.
But he has a lot more tape. But he's just so dominant. He's such an anomaly at the size of running back, and the numbers he'll be able to put up, he could replicate. But it's kind of a trade-off because of Julio, and it works both ways.
Then again, it's like Julio was in a pass-heavy offense for his whole career, so I could see why he would get hurt. Now it's his first time really in a run-heavy offense, so maybe the odds of him getting hurt aren't that high like it used to be. It's a possibility that he can actually probably go through a full season. Maybe. I don't know, but we're going to have to see. Jay, you said, Jay, you don't think so?
Nah.
Who's in front of him besides Devontae?
Devontae, D-Hop, Stephon, Tyreek.
You taking Stephon over healthy Julio?
Yes. After what I seen last year, yes. And I think he'll be better than this year. I think he'll be better. And I think that's it. Off the top of my head, that's probably it. That's 4 right there.
And it'll be kind of like a situation. Oh, sorry for cutting you off, Jalen.
Nah.
All right, cool. What I was gonna say was, since you were talking about Pittsburgh earlier, I'll compare it to a similar situation from Pittsburgh where back in 2017 you have a young receiver in Juju Smith-Schuster, and you have Antonio Brown, the veteran, who's been there, for a while. A little bit different situation with the veteran coming to the team, but with A.J. Brown going into his 3rd year, he could arguably be the best receiver on the team this year. So Julio might not even, let alone be the best receiver on his team.
That's tough.
Or in the league. I'm extremely high on A.J. Brown. He's a great talent.
Yeah.
And I have him, Chase Claypool, and DK Metcalf, dark horse, top 5 receivers, or even best receiver in the leagues this season.
It's a possibility. Calvin Ridley, he gets a lot of. It's his time to shine. I mean, it was his time to shine last year.
See what he does against number 1 corners.
Yeah, we're going to see how that goes. But hey, that's going to wrap up this episode, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my good mans, Bradley, for popping out in this episode, man. We're going to have to get you back for another NFL one for sure. But tonight, Game 4 of the NBA Finals. We still in Milwaukee with it, but can they tie the series up?
Suns in 6.
Or could the Suns, can they go up 3-1?
6.
We're going to see how that goes, man. But, hey, until next time, it's your boys, Juice and Lou, and we out of here. Peace.
Molly off the drum, I got